Calling you a radical. This is a real important video for everybody. I want people to know it'll be 7 years Saturday that I was given 2 months to live with AML leukemia right there, right in this room, up these stairs, right there in that room. I want to talk about this, and I want to talk about this incredible fight, this historic. I did it without a bone marrow transplant. You know, I was sent home with hospice. I got so mistreated, it was unbelievable. Misdiagnosed, then they got the diagnosis, still given 2 months to live. Vincent Hansen, my doctor right down the hall, stepped in. But I want to talk about what I've learned over the 7 years. I did it without a bone marrow transplant. The survival rate's less than 1%. It's impossible. Persistence, I am the definition of persistence. So as I call myself, cancer inmate number 137, the artist activist Blanch. Former cancer inmate. So let me keep going here. I get this right. So that's why this happens. I don't let them. Oh, I fight back fiercely. That's why I'm alive. It'll be light tonight. So, free at last. Free at last. Cancer free at last. Free at last. Let's go for a walk this beautiful place. And so I want to talk about this incredible historic journey of mine, of ours. The Pacific Ocean dies. I walked the whole coast of California dying. A lot of the doctors says don't do it. You know, in fact, all of them except for Vincent Hansen and Fimbo Peterson. They're anti-nukers, by the way. I threw down my stock portfolio right there and I said, Vincent, don't mess with me. He says, Kevin, I've known you since you was a boy. So glad you didn't have that surgery. Dr. Vicar wanted to gut me. I mean, I found a YouTube video with 14 views by a pathologist from Cedars-Sinai for students. He says the lower right mesentery. I think that, you know, my light went on. I went from 170 to 130 in days. It was so horrible. I was in incredible pain. I mean, it's a nightmare. I don't think anybody has any clue. You know, he bone marrow biopsied me right there. It'll be 7 years, Saturday night, light the night. Her name was Carla Hennessy. Kevin and Carla, both simultaneously de novo patients. OS de novo, the only two simultaneously being treated by Fimbo Peterson, the dangerous philosopher at the top of LDS East A. Sucked down to nothing. Marshall Jensen, the other famous case, in the room next to me, the exact same time. The first one to ever get the HIV. So Carla's husband runs Light the Night. He's the guy. Well, he's the big donation in Carla. She has children. Marshall has an 8-year-old boy. They're dead. They run the show. We have a survivor ceremony. As I will say this, my YouTube camera and this 7-year journey, I have freed millions of future cancer slaves. I really have. I would have freed hundreds of million more if Mike Lee, my own government, the state of Utah, the United States government, the NSA, the Obama administration, the Trump administration wouldn't have went after me. Now you think about this, they block my, and what I'm trying to do, you know how many cancer victims watch my videos? Free at last, free at last, cancer free at last. That room right there, I had emergency gallbladder from the chemo, which I knew was going, kicked off Medicaid, no one would touch me. When I got into the emergency room on Earth Day this year, it was an ex-student of mine. He says, oh my God, you were the greatest professor I ever had. And I says, yeah, look what they did. I mean, I'm thinking, it's my gallbladder. He says, I get you in. They got me in emergency surgery so fast. My heart was going. I was kicked off Medicaid. I was a millionaire when I got sick. Took all my money. They cut me loose early at the bone marrow transplant unit because I was out of money. I was out of insurance. Exhausted it all. I walked the coast of California. You got to be crazy. You're going to really go play the Cancer 38? You can't do that. But Fimbo's like, what do you got to lose? You go. Vincent Hansen says to me, he says, Kevin, I've known you since you were a kid. Your uncle was my business partner. He was the smartest guy. I've known you my whole life. He put in so much work into me. He says, my brother and father both died of thyroid cancer young in central Utah. So I believe in you. I've always believed in you. I believe in your activism. He got all emotional. Sent me to the LDSC State Bone Marrow Transplant Unit. I said, I ain't going to that dump. I'm going to the Mayo Clinic. No. Guy from Denmark there. I've talked to him. He's an anti-nuker too. I've juggled so much. You don't even want to know. You don't even want to know what I've juggled. It's been a war. That room right there. That room right there. That Friday night. Looking up there at all these houses I stuck on, all these. And we were talking about it this morning. 10,000. None of my jobs have failed. I never switched to your fake shit. I'm like, really, this is it. This is it. I don't think people understand, and this is important that I talk about this, the great ecological catastrophe I fight in symphony with the environment as it collapses. I don't think people understand what that does to you. I'm perfectly healthy. I mean, I was in tremendous physical shape. And I just go from a stomach ache within minutes of doctor right there telling me it's carcinoid cancer. I'd been in the emergency room 3 times, misdiagnosed. Sent me home. I mean, what a fucking... I mean, the one asshole, the first guy says, oh, you know, and they scanned me. I had tumors all up on my lower bowel. Oh, he didn't even find them. This is what derelict he was. Because he thought I was uninsured. You know, I had over $1 million, about $1 million, not just about $1 million in the stock market at the time. Kept coming back and finally was a female doctor. I was watching the Steve Jobs interview with Isaacson, the book writer. One of my doctors ended up being one of Steve Jobs' doctors. You know, pretty amazing story. The wolves are all over me. They attack me still this day. This country hates cancer survivors with a deep-rooted passion. I've learned that the hard way. They hate fighters. The only thing they hate more than cancer survivors, they hate me. I mean, my own government, everything is real, true environmentalists. But they work hand in hand. I fought for the environment. I fought with Pacific. I mean, look at where I've done. What do you think about what I've done in 7 years? Why do you think I'm alive? They hate me. They hate survivors. They hate people that fight back. I freed millions of fucking slaves, future cancer slaves. Millions. I could have freed hundreds of millions, but my own people went after me. My own government. My own, I mean, the United States tried to make a sequel out of me. Murdered my Special Forces Marine father. I thought I'd start crying when I made this video. I've thought that a few times. I've gotten certain places, like tonight. Every time I get down there and I get around Marshall's wife and child, and Carla's family, and you know, there was 44 of us in that unit. I'm the only one left alive. The only one. I did it without a bone marrow transplant. Brian Morris helped me out so much. He was way before me. He's 9 years, but he's got serious issues now. But it's been a sad, fucking lonely fight. You know, I'm poor now. I'm broke financially. Broke as I've ever been in my entire life. But I'm free. Free at last. Free at last. Cancer free at fucking last. Cancer inmate number 137. I used to call myself 37. Where did I come up? Stay down, Luke. That was Luke's freaking cell number in Cool Hand Luke. George Kennedy beating him up, knocking him down. That's what fighting cancer is. I got the worst care in the world, then I got the best care in the world. And Weber State nurses saved me. It'll be 7 years to the exact moment, to the day that light the night. I've watched that evolve. Used to be at the old Sugar House prison. Now it's downtown Salt Lake. They have a survival ceremony finally now. You know, and lots of mourners there. They do it. It's hallowed. I mean, it's incredibly emotional. So there's these young people you'll see with their survivor balloons that have bone marrow transplants. Then you'll see me. I'm the old timer of the group. I'm it. Thank you everybody who supported this historic fucking incredible work. What a journey. I fought for the ecology so fucking hard. I've really fought. I've really fucking tried to defend Mother Earth. I've tried to save the Pacific Ocean and fucking collapse. Her and I, both on life support. I mean, she fought for me, now I have to fight for her. She's in the same place I was in 2012 going in and out of a coma. 2011. If it wasn't for Vincent Hansen, my anti-nuclearism, because he's an anti-nuclear. So is Fimbo, the Danish guy. He talked to him. If it wasn't for those two, they overrode all these doctors. They overrode the pathologist. What's her name? Says she fought with him for a long time. Silverman told me he never had one wrong in his life. Oh, he had this one wrong. And even though he had it wrong, it was still a death sentence. To everybody who's lost a loved one, of them only the good day young. I got work to do. So thank you to everybody who supported this historic fucking work. You know, I'm down and out economically. I've been, pretty depressed the last little bit, but it's been a war. I mean, I don't people think, and that's the thing. People think you've beat it back. I had open heart surgery last year. My aortic valve went. That was so brutal. People have no clue. My teeth are fucked up from it. A guy named Michael Hawkins at Ogden Regional Hospital. I'll never forget it. I'm bleeding profusely. I've cut off Medicaid. I have no public assistance. I have no nothing. I have no safety net. I have nothing. I have zero. I'm fighting to save the fucking world, saving so many people, and I got zero. They won't take me. I pop in the emergency room, just bleeding profusely. It's my heart. It's my heart. I know it's my heart. I can feel it. One of the nurses was standing right there. He was a chiropractor, by the way. Ogden Regional, named Michael Hawkins. He's treating me like shit, and I'm like, I'm bleeding, freaking out. We can't do it. I says, in my heart, we'll run. It ain't your heart. I'll run tests. And she pops. She says, oh my God, Kevin. She had a cancer sucks button on. Those are really collector's items. I have one from LDS. Oh my God, I was wondering. She told the doctor off. He still wouldn't treat me. Told me to go see my dentist, which the chemo fucked up my teeth, and I can't afford. I mean, I've had part of them fixed, but that was them calling right there. Dentist, you need to pay this. I know, I'm working on it. Thank you to everybody who has supported this historic work. I've tried to help. I've tried to do my part. I've tried to make you money in the markets. I've tried to, save you. I saved millions of future cancer inmates. I'm a big juicer. I drink my carrot juice, my beet juice every day. I eat a real clean meal every day. I go to bed. I travel all over the world. I walk like crazy. What a journey. I could have saved millions more if they would have just let me. Trying to save you from you. Former cancer slave. And I'm telling you what, it's a slavery. Cancer is slavery from hell. And I think about it's hardcore, sleeping on part. I think about where I've been, sleeping on, places I think about how hardcore and brutal with no money, walking through New York, DC, the coast of California, Vienna, I mean all over the fucking world, just fighting, straight wondering where I'm going to get my next fucking meal. That poor, that broke, that hard. It's slavery. It was slavery. Pure fucking slavery. Cancer is slavery. I freed a lot of potential slave victims. I could have freed so many more, but they wouldn't let me. It'll be 7 years. I'm very, very grateful to be alive. I don't think people have any clue what this fight is. They have no fucking clue. MLOS de nouveau. Survival rate is pretty well 0. Very emotional. Very hardcore. Heartbreaking fight. I've learned a lot about humanity. I learned about it. It's not like this. The rest of the world. The rest of the world cares. It's the United States of usury. They hate cancer survivors here. You tell they really hate them. They treat me like shit. Mike Lee kicked me off freaking thing. He went after me. His father died of this very disease young. Barack Obama's mother died of this disease young. None of them care. None of them care. All I've ever done is try to fucking save Mother Earth, try to protect you, try to protect our unborn, try to protect our children. That's all I've ever done. And the only thing they hate worse than a cancer survivor in usury, America, is real environmentalists. And I'm both. Stand to it.